Yo, what's up, y'all? It's coming back here again today with another video. Every single year, ESPN and these other sports publications put out these top 150 whatever players in the NBA lists. Two things to start this video. One, yes, I know a lot of the things that are wrong here are going to be for clicks. I get that. I know the reason they do these lists is to get attention so that people talk about it, and that's exactly what I'm doing. But the second part is, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun to look at this list, talk about my perspective on some of this, and kind of just look at some of the dumb rankings that they make. It'll be fun. I'm not going to have probably a ton to say for the first like 50 or so, just because when you get between players like number 100 to like 75 or like even a little bit lower, it's very subjective. It's a lot based on what things you value more in a player, how they fit, their role. So it's kind of tough to evaluate those guys. But as we get towards the top, I promise you there will be some problems. I have not looked in depth at these lists yet because I wanted to wait and make this video for when they released all of them. I think they released this over the course of like 4 or 5 days. So finally, here's the time. Starting off at number 100, we have Norman Powell, obviously. Also, leave a like. It helps the channel out a lot. And make sure you subscribe. NBA content going to be ramping up a lot as we hit the NBA season. And we're like less than a month away now. So make sure you don't miss out on that. Number 100, Norman Powell. Cool. 99, Gallinari. Okay. 98, Steven Adams. All right. Will Barton here at 97. Like I said, I'm not going to have a lot to say. I don't love putting a rookie on here. I'm personally, if I'm making a top 100 players list, I'm not going to put rookies on because they've never played an NBA game. Jalen Green, I believe he's going to be a great player, a guy who could win a scoring title at some point. But he hasn't played a single game yet. So how am I going to rank him above like a Norman Powell who was like a 20 point per game scorer last season? Or a Gallinari who can just like shoot over anyone at like 6'10", 6'11". I don't know. I just don't know if I can do that. I like Jalen Green a lot. I think he's going to have a great year. By the way, this is also predicting. So this isn't just saying like who it is right now. They're predicting who's going to be the best. Kevin Huerter at number 95. I've got Jonas Valanciunas at 94, below Mitchell Robinson, which I'm not a huge fan of. Although they are projecting, but I feel like Valanciunas has done enough to be above. Duncan Robinson at 92, very valuable just for his shooting. Derrick Rose at 91. We've got Clarkson, Covington, Seth Curry. I like this. Seth Curry had a great season last year and a great playoff run. He was a lot of times the second best scorer on that Philly team during the playoffs. I like the Miles Bridges love. I'm not sure if he's going to be this high just because I don't know how much opportunity he's going to get behind Gordon Hayward, who's going to be healthy now. Devontae Graham here at 86. We'll see. John Wall at 85. We'll see if he plays this season, if he gets traded. Garland at 84. I think Garland's going to have a great year. I might even have him higher than this. DeJounte Murray, another guy that I think is going to have a great season. Could be a most improved player type candidate. Lauri Markkanen, high. Might be a little high for him. Terry Rozier at 81. I feel like Terry's higher than this. We'll see who's above him, but I feel like Terry deserves to be higher. Karis LeVert, I get it. He's got, yeah, like it says here, he's got to be able to hit threes. I feel like Terry should move up. Yeah, I think I would have moved Terry up. Tim Hardaway, great player. Dylan Brooks, pretty good spot for him. Wiggins here at 77. We'll see if he's able to be as good defensively. Cade Cunningham at number 76 with Thunder legend Teo Maledon over here on the side. Once again, I just don't like putting rookies on here. Like, can we be sure he's going to be better than like Terry Rozier, who's averaging like 20 points per game this past season? We'll see. Joe Harris at 75. Wow. I'm impressed that he's all the way up here. One of the best three-point shooters in the league, so it makes sense, but I'm surprised, especially because he didn't have a good playoff run. Yusuf Nurkic here at 74. Tyrese Halliburton, like the Tyrese Halliburton love here at number 73. 72, OG Anunoby. I think he's going to be higher. I think he's going to be better than that. Jaren Jackson, I think Jaren Jackson could be in for a breakout season. He dropped a lot from number 43 last year to number 71. He just was kind of disappointing, to be honest. Kemba Walker at 70. We'll see if he can stay healthy. That's my worry. Aaron Gordon at 69, nice, and with a new contract extension. Spencer Dinwiddie at 68. I'm excited to see what he can do in Washington. Bojan at 67. Okay, might be a little high. Mikal Bridges here at 66. He's going to have a good year. Malcolm Brogdon at 65. Brogdon under Bogdan Bogdanovic? I don't know. I like Brogdon more. I think Brogdon's better. D'Angelo Russell here at 63. It's just a question of if he can stay healthy. And if he can be efficient. Joe Ingles above D'Angelo Russell at 62. All right, good for you, Joe. Jared Allen, big contract extension here at 61. 60, we've got Christian Wood. Colin Sexton at 59. I feel like there's going to be people above him that I don't agree with because I think Sexton's underrated at this point. 58 is Gordon Hayward. If he's able to stay healthy, I think that's a solid spot. Lonzo Ball at 57. I think he's going to have a really good year. I've talked about this a lot of times, but I think he's in for a good year because of where he's at now in Chicago. Great roster fit for him. Fred VanVleet at 56. Clint Capella at 55. I like Clint Capella a bit better than John Collins. Jeremy Grant here at 53. Like to see the Jeremy Grant love. Anthony Edwards at 52. Buddy Hield at 51. Above Anthony Edwards. Hield is too high. I wouldn't have Buddy Hield this high. All right, those are the first 49 or 50, I guess. Now we're going to move on to numbers 50 to 26, starting with number 50 at Kristaps Porzingis. We'll see. Kristaps really, he just hasn't been able to become the player that he was in New York with Dallas, other than like the bubble playoff run. In the bubble, he was a monster. But it's a question of if he can sustain that and if he can return to that form. And if he can, it's going to be huge for Dallas. But if he can't, it's rough. Marcus Smart at 49. I'm a big Marcus Smart fan, so I love to see the love. Great defensive player. Mike Conley here at 48, an all-star this past season. Shea could have been an all-star over him, but we won't talk about that. Number 47, LaMelo Ball. Wow, big jump from him. Didn't even have him ranked last year. Yeah, I don't know. Tobias Harris at 46. I like that pick. Tobias had a great season this past year. DeMar at 45. They finally fixed his rating. Last year, if you didn't know, they had him at number 82, which is very disrespectful. So good to see that he's risen back up. Miles Turner here at 44. We'll see. I mean, he led the league in blocks per game. He missed a lot of time. It's just a matter of if he can stay healthy once again. Kyle Lowry here at 43 might be too low. We'll see who's above him. Julius Randle at 42. Okay. I definitely think he would have been a lot higher if he had a better playoff run, but that playoff run definitely lowered him a little bit. Michael Porter Jr. at 41. Wow. Above a guy like Julius Randle. I definitely see it. I see the potential of Michael Porter Jr., and it could definitely open his game up more now that he's going to get more opportunities without Jamal Murray. So I don't think this is terrible. Obviously, Julius Randle is the better player right now, but if Michael Porter Jr. makes a jump, then I could see him being here. Sabonis at 40. Vooch at 39. Pascal Siakam. I like to see Pascal Siakam love because I think he's someone that gets really underrated. He could even be higher than this. We'll see who's above him. Draymond Green, another guy who deserves respect. There's Shea here at 36. I love that he got this high up, and I think he's going to be higher than this 36 rating that they gave him by the end of the season. 35, DeAndre Ayton. I'd put Shea over him, but I'm not going to talk about everyone that I would put Shea over. This list hasn't been too bad so far. There have obviously been some spots where I'm like, but I think it'll get worse as we get to the top. Also like Shea better than De'Aaron Fox, but Fox is underrated. He actually stayed the exact same rank. Zach LaVine at 33. Once again, I think with a good team, people are going to kind of seem to respect Zach LaVine's game a little bit more. Clay at 32. I don't like this. I like Clay. I think Clay's a great player. We haven't seen him play in 2 seasons. So how can you put him at 32 above guys like a Zach LaVine who just scored like 30 points per game? Above like a De'Aaron Fox who had one of the best finishing seasons of all time by a guard? Over like a Shea or DeAndre Ayton who's just the center for a finals team. I just don't know if you can put Clay that high. If we get the Clay back that was there, even then I don't know if he's this high. So I think it's a little too high. I think it's too high of a ranking. John Morant at 31. Got to get his shot down. CJ McCollum is too high. CJ McCollum should be this high. I don't think he's better than Fox. I don't think he's better than Shea. I don't think he's better than John Morant. If Clay comes back and is the player that he is, then he's better than CJ McCollum too. I know he had a great start to his season last year and he looked like he could be an all-star, but I don't know. Russell Westbrook, love to see the love here at number 29. Ben Simmons at 28. Is Ben Simmons better than Russell Westbrook? You can debate that one. Ben Simmons is a great player though. He is. Jaylen Brown at 27. Jaylen Brown is one of my favorite players in the league. He's just, I don't know. I feel like he doesn't get enough attention because of how good Jason Tatum is, but he deserves a lot more. Brandon Ingram at 26. I also think Ingram is too high. I think he's too high up there. All right, now we're going to get to the nitty-gritty of it. 25 through 6 and then 5 to 1. Starting at number 25, we have Rudy Gobert. People are probably going to hate this, but he's one of the best defensive players we've seen in a very long time. I understand why he gets this spot. Cat here at 24. Too low in my opinion. People have forgotten who Karl Anthony Towns is, and I hope he reminds everyone this season. Zion at 23. Don't hate this. I think this is a solid spot for him because of how ridiculously good he was last season. I've been talking about that a lot on Twitter. Drew Holiday here at 22. I think he could be a bit lower. Just because, like, I don't know if he's better than Cat, because Cat's like an all-time great shooter. I like Drew Holiday. It's just his offensive inconsistency that bugs me a little bit. He is a finals champion, and he was critical to that run. They wouldn't have won it without him, so I get it. Number 21 is Bam Adebayo. They had him ranked 13th last year, which is kind of wild. Bam's really good. I don't know if I'd quite put him over Karl Anthony Towns yet. Maybe if Kyle Lowry's offensive game unlocks Bam Adebayo like I think it could, then maybe by the end of the season I could see this. But once again, I think Cat's going to remind people who he is. Kyrie here at 20. Chris Middleton at 19. I really like Chris Middleton. He is not better than Kyrie Irving. He is not. I don't think I put him above Bam. Cat. I like Chris a lot. Chris is not better than Kyrie Irving. He's just not. Number 18, Donovan Mitchell. Okay. Solid. 17, Trae Young. Trae Young and Donovan Mitchell being back-to-back here is really interesting. We'll see if Trae Young is able to build off of that playoff run. If he is, then I see this. 16 is Jimmy Butler. 15 is Devin Booker. Okay. Devin Booker and Jimmy Butler. That's an interesting one. 14 is Jason Tatum. This is a good spot for him. 13, Chris Paul. This is very high. I like Chris a lot, but I'm not sure if he's all the way up here. I think Kyrie is better than Chris Paul at this point. Chris Paul might be a better leader, but I think Kyrie's just a better player. Tatum, I think, is better than Chris Paul as well. Booker and Chris Paul, you can debate. They're on the same team, so it's kind of hard to tell. Number 12, Paul George. I'm guessing they assume he's going to build off of his playoff run in a big way, and I think he can. If the Clippers were going to be good this season, I'm not sure if they will or not, just because obviously no Kawhi Leonard. But if Paul George is able to lead them to a high seed without Kawhi, I think he's an MVP candidate this next season, so I could see this. 11 is Bradley Beal. I like Beal. I think this is too high. I don't think Beal is the 11th best player in the league. He was a great shooter, phenomenal, but I don't know. We'll see how he works with his supporting cast. James Harden at 10. James Harden is better than the 10th best player in the league. I'm very curious to see how they order this top 10, but James Harden is better than this. 80 at 9. I don't think I can put 80 over James Harden right now. James Harden was an MVP candidate this past season when his team needed him with Kyrie and Kevin Durant out, and the way that James Harden led the Nets without them, established himself as an MVP candidate for a little bit. He deserves to be higher than 10. I think he's higher than Anthony Davis right now. And Damian Lillard. James Harden should be higher than Damian Lillard. I like Dame, and he did a lot, but I think he deserves to be higher. Maybe you could leave him there at 8 because Joel Embiid was an MVP candidate, like the second place finisher. And I get it. James Harden doesn't have that big of a role on the Nets, but I feel like he needs to be higher. Like the lowest you can have him is like 8. Joel Embiid here at 7. I like it. Defensive player of the year caliber guy. He's an MVP. He's going to be an MVP candidate like for the next few years. He was this past season. Dominant player. Best season of his career by far. Nikola Jokic here at 6. I like having these two back to back because I think they're very, very close. Obviously, Jokic ends up winning out in this situation because he did win the MVP award, so that makes sense. So we're down to the top 5. So the top 5 are going to be LeBron, Durant, Giannis, Luka, and Steph Curry. Luka in the top 5 is interesting. We'll see who's where. I have this pulled up. I haven't looked at it yet. Number 5. Steph Curry at number 5. Steph is better than this. Steph is better than number 5. He just is. Also, I just realized Kawhi Leonard wasn't on this list. I'm guessing that's because of injury. Also, no Jamal Murray, so makes sense. Steph Curry at number 5. That's too low. Steph was arguably the best player in the league this past season, and when Klay Thompson comes back, he's going to have more help. Luka at 4. I like Luka. I don't think he's going to be better than Steph Curry next year. I think that's too premature. I think that's too early. I don't like it. I also don't. Is he better than Harden right now? I don't know. Is he better than Embiid and Jokic? Talk about Luka in the comment section below. I don't know. LeBron at 3. Okay. LeBron has long been the number 1 player in the league, but he is getting older, and the top 2 guys, Durant and Giannis, it makes sense. I'm going to predict they have Giannis 2 and Durant 1, I'm guessing. Yep. Giannis here at number 2. NBA Finals MVP, champion, defensive player of the year, MVP. He's done pretty much everything at this age, and he's only going to keep getting better. He's going to keep building on his game. He's hungry. All he talks about is how he wants to get better. After this list came out, he did say, like, I'm not better than a few of these players on this list. I know I'm not, and I have to become better to become that. Something I love about Giannis is the way that he keeps trying to get better. He keeps motivating himself. He knows he needs to be better. He knows he wants to get better. And I think he's going to be number 1 on this list sooner than later. And finally, number 1 in the NBA, according to ESPN, is Kevin Durant. It makes sense. You can 100% say Kevin Durant is the best player in the league. And I don't think that's crazy at all. I think that it's very possible. So that was their list. My biggest issues with it, obviously I'm biased, but I think Shea was a little too low. I think having Steph behind Luka is kind of wild. James Harden was too low. That one comes to mind. Kyrie Irving was too low. Those are the main ones. So let me know what your thoughts are about this list. I don't think it was terrible per se. There was a lot of stuff that's kind of like, I don't know, but obviously these lists, like I said, are mainly made for clicks. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. If you want to see the list, I'll leave a link to the first section, the 100 to 51 section, in the comment section below, so you can go and take a look at it for yourself. The other lists just kind of link from there. I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. I will see you later. Real one, say it back.